The best Old West colorized photos with amazing story behind. Did you know that the Old West literally means everything from history, geography, and even folklores during the westward expansion? In almost 300 years, a lot of things had changed, but with these photos colorized, the distant frontier would be brought back to life. And at the end of this video, you'll discover the most amazing photo. But behind it was a scandalous affair and shocking story about Dawes' act. So right away, here's the first photo. Canyon Diablo Shootout. If you don't look closely, you'll perhaps think that the guy in the middle was smiling, and at the same time, he seemed already dead. The person you're looking at was the outlaw John Shaw, who got killed after a bloody encounter with his pursuant. However, he left his whiskey untouched, and when these people lifted him up from his makeshift burial to pour him his last liquor, strangely, the already dead outlaw seemed to smile. Madam Mustache. Speaking of what's strange, this heroine got quite an unusual appearance despite being a woman. Yes, she got a mustache. She was Eleanor Dumont, who despite this many admired her not just for her charm, but also for her golden heart. As a madam who owns her gambling house, Dumont never forgot to help people in need, and gave food and loans to miners in nearby boomtowns. But a flower would eventually wilt. On top of being conned by the man she thought loved her, later she would succumb to depression, and sadly decided to end her life.
Before continuing, we would really appreciate a like to this video. If you also want to see similar content in the future, consider subscribing and activating the notification bell.
Apache Kid. He was the most mysterious, feared, but at the same time the most famous native outlaw in the Wild West. But surprisingly, in a way, Apache Kid was also quite famous in dime novels as a vigilante who spread terror in the Apache wilderness. The unsuspecting victims would experience hell, or would be able to escape alive, but would forever be horrified. In contrast, some see him as a hero fighting for his homeland, and we'll never know. His whereabouts remained unknown until now. Deadwood Saloon. The frontier would never be complete without the saloon, and that's why there would be a lot of them everywhere during those times. But some, very few, would top the rest as the most sought for, visited, and patronized choice. Just like in this photo of several frontier people, chilling out in the popular Deadwood Saloon. Fur traders. Well, life way back then was really hard, and people did odd jobs just to make ends meet. They would hunt even some small animals, take their meager meat and harvest the pelt to sell later on. And a bountiful hunt means more days not to starve. And if they got some extra, probably upgrade their hunting kit as well. Cheyenne and the military. So, Standing Out, Running Hog, and Little Wolf, all in their stunning ceremonial dress, have met with Colonel Delraines of the federal government. And we can see with the aide beside him, they would be negotiating about some important things. It was believed that it's supposedly about the Dawes Act, which covers land allocation to natives, providing vocational skills and education. Like this photo, it seemed good at first, but later on a sizable remainder of the reservation was left, then was actually sold to the settlers. Sadly, this resulted in 90 million acres of tribal land being stripped from natives and sold to the migrants. We've discovered an amazing Old West photo collection, so click this and discover the best American Civil War colorized photos.